Hi there, thank you for joining with me for this Thought for the Week, the fourth Sunday of Advent and of course Christmas Eve. I suppose it's difficult for all of us to appreciate the cruel world into which Jesus was born. Oh, they didn't need violent video games in these days. The real world was violent. Take the ruler of that part of the world, King Herod. He was called Herod the Great. It seems to me the only thing he was good about him was his fondness for murder. But sometimes we forget that there have always been cruel monsters in this world. And Christ came into this world because it needed saving. It needed it then, and it still needs it now. These people are still around. But there is something about Christmas that lifts us up. We do feel more helpful, more generous at Christmas, more than at any other season of the year. There's something about Christmas that brings warmth to our heart, kindness to our lips, sometimes charity to our purses. Christmas was meant to change us. Someone sent me a story a few years ago. I found it interesting, and stay with me as I tell you it. I live in a town called Alexandria, not the one in Egypt, nor the one in Virginia, but the one right here in Scotland. And the River Leven runs close by. It leaves Loch Lomond and journeys a short 8 miles until it reaches the River Clyde. We call the area the Vale of Leven. So now you know, the Valley of the Leven. Here's the story. Joseph left the Vale because there was no longer work here for him. He and his wife Mary, who was pregnant, put all of their things into the old Ford car and headed south for Liverpool, where Joseph's cousin lived. He worked for the council and said he might get a job there. The heater in the car did not work. The shock absorbers were worn. Their MOT certificate had expired, so it was late in the night that they journeyed south, and Mary started into labour. They stopped at a small hospital, but was told that they didn't handle deliveries anymore. They were redirected to a larger unit. But the pains were coming so quickly that Joseph had to stop at a motorway cafe, and it was there in the car park that she gave birth, assisted to one of the cafe staff who had been coming on that night. They wrapped the child in towels borrowed from the motorway cafe, and there they had him in the back seat of the car, and they asked themselves, what now? Pondering these things in their hearts, they waited till the morning. Yes, it was almost like that on the first Christmas. Baby coming early, in the wrong place, not in a room, hotel full, no maternity hospital then. If we miss the realism of the Christmas story, then if we are never able to take it out of the context of a nursery story, then we are missing something. I suppose back in Herod's day, most people were too busy listening to the tramp of soldiers marching or the haggling in the marketplace to hear that small cry of a baby just born. Yet I say to you, the hope of the world was born that night. And there is hope for us. If we would only heed what he had to say to us, believe that he did come as the Prince of Peace, and that we should learn to live in peace today, that would be something special. Let us live in hope and pray for peace and sanity at this Advent time. God bless you, and again, thank you for joining with me today.